He's Dr. Chris.
He's Dr. Xand.
And yes, we're identical twins.
Do you know your body does heaps of amazing things every single day?
That is incredible.
And we're going to show you how.
Oh, you've cut him in half. In this new series, we'll be getting to the heart of what makes your brilliant body tick.
We're back with more incredible experiments.
Wow! And real-life medical emergencies.
There's a big chunk of me leg missing.
Ouch!
We'll be turning our bodies inside out.
Oh, yuck! To show you what you're made of.
You should see a doctor. Better go find one. Dr. Xand.
Coming up on Operation Ouch!
We get to the bottom of your guts.
1 week's worth of farts.
We go ouch and about with our portable clinic to solve your medical mysteries.
Next patient, please.
And Chris is put through his paces on a rather unique hospital ward.
Oh, he's been sick.
But first...
The staff in the emergency room thought they'd seen everything, but they weren't expecting this.
In Manchester, waiting with her mum and dad is 5-year-old Alice, and it looks as though she's hurt her hooter.
Ooh, that does look nasty.
She fell over and bashed her nose, so she's got a nasty little cut just along the side of her nose here.
The witch came to catch me.
The witch? What's all that about?
Alice and her friend Colette were at school.
So where was the witch? Unless you mean those dinner ladies. Maybe they're cooking up a spell.
No, Xand. Colette was pretending to be a witch and was chasing Alice.
Run, Alice!
Alice ran through the playground, trying to get away, but the witch was catching up fast.
Oh, no!
Alice ran faster and faster, and just as the witch was about to grab her, she tripped.
Uh-oh!
Alice went flying across the playground, landing face first.
Ouch. Here's ear, nose and throat doctor Ricky Powell. Maybe he can cast a spell to mend that snout.
What have you done?
I fallen over and hit my nose.
Dr. Ricky needs to take a closer look.
There are lots of nooks and crannies in your nose that could be damaged if it takes a bash. The nostrils, the nasal passages, and the bit down the middle called the septum that's made of bone and cartilage.
Alice's cut hasn't reached the cartilage, but it has sliced right through her nostril. Luckily, Dr. Ricky knows how to fix it.
She needs to have that stitched in theatre, so put her to sleep under an anaesthetic, and then we'll just get the edges of the cut lined up and stitched together nicely.
We'll be back later to see how Alice gets on. Ouch! And now to our lab for some amazing body experiments. Ugh!
Whoa! Just don't try anything you see here at home.
Today, we're getting to grips with your guts.
Xand, what's going on? It's snack time. Snack time's cancelled, Chris. Because I've laid a set of pig guts end to end all over the bench.
I can see that, Xand. The smell is terrible, but it does look amazing. Why have you done it?
I just wanted to see how long it all is, really.
Your intestines are 8 to 9 meters long, but until you lay it out like this, it's hard to imagine.
It's amazing how it can all fit in your body without getting tangled. But Xand, if only we had another set of guts that you hadn't laid out, we could see that special part of your body that stops that tangling happening.
Well, it's funny you should mention that, Chris, because I've always said that there's only one thing better than a set of pig guts, and that's 2 sets of guts.
I don't think you've ever said that before in your life. But it does look like this one does seem to have the mesentery.
Yes, the mesentery, the amazing bit of your body which stops your guts getting tangled and gives them blood and nutrients. And you can see it here. This white bit is the mesentery, and there are blood vessels running through it. And you can see it holds all the guts together.
Without the mesentery, your gut would have to be in a straight line from your mouth to your bum, and you'd be as tall as 2 double-decker buses.
That would be tall.
Your guts are split into 2 sections, the large intestine and the small intestine, which isn't that small at all.
This is the small intestine, and it runs all the way from here, around here, right down to there, and this is where the action takes place. And inside, it's covered in tiny finger-like projections called villi, and you can only see them under a microscope.
Villi have an important job to do. As the food moves along and touches them, the villi absorb every tiny little bit of nutrient, including fat, sugars, and proteins, into the wall of your intestines, passing it out into your blood for your body to use.
But there's one thing about intestines we haven't discussed, Chris, and that's...
Oh, Xand, what have you been eating?
Farting is completely natural. It's just your body's way of getting rid of unwanted built-up gas, and everyone does it about 14 times a day. Doesn't matter if we're talking about your head teacher or the Queen herself. We all do it, and it's honestly not your fault.
He is actually right there. Inside your large intestines, there are millions of good bacteria that are there to help break down food.
And as they eat, they produce a mixture of gases, which is what makes you let rip.
This combination of gases is made up mainly of air, carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, and methane. And the methane contains a lot of energy, as we're about to show you.
And for this, I'm going to need a special piece of equipment, Chris's hand. Now this is a cylinder of methane, and I'm going to release 1 day's worth of farts.
This experiment is highly dangerous. We're in a controlled lab using specially manufactured gas. Don't even think about trying this yourself.
Get your hand wet. Now scoop up those bubbles. That's right. Hold them well away from you.
I don't like the look of this. Ah! Xand, that was amazing. So that's how much energy there is in a day's worth of farts.
Exactly. That's 1 day's worth of farts.
Well, you know what we have to do now?
A week's worth.
Precisely.
1 week's worth of farts. That's really good, isn't it? So we've done a day.
We've done a week.
Dare we do a month?
Yes, we do. Dare. Do it.
Here we go.
Ice it.
Wow!
That was amazing.
Wow!
So we've shown you just how incredible your intestines are and how much energy there is in your farts. Remember, when you let rip, it's an essential part of how your body gets rid of excess gas.
And now you know whose fault it is that you do them in the first place, those cheeky little gut bacteria. But if they weren't in our intestines, we'd end up with undigested food sitting in there forever. So there really is no reason to be ashamed of your...
Now we're getting ouch and about with our mobile clinic.
Today, we're at a theme park to help solve your medical mysteries.
If you're anxious about an ailment,
Or curious about a condition,
then the Ouchmobile is the place for you.
That is incredible.
Xand is preparing the clinic ready for his first patient.
And Chris is out in the park to answer your burning questions.
At the clinic, Xand is open for business.
Can I have the next patient?
Hi, Dr. Xand.
First in is 11-year-old Eugene with a question about an itchy ailment on his arms.
So, Eugene, what's brought you to the Ouchmobile today?
Well, I've got something really itchy and annoying on my arms.
What's the diagnosis, Doc?
Sounds to me like a case of I've got something really annoying and itchy on my arms-itis.
Spot on.
So what we're looking at here is actually something called eczema.
It happens when too many skin cells are produced, and it's also a chance for Xand to show off his doctor skills.
What I can see here is xerodermia, lichenification, and excoriations. What that really means is it's just the Greek words for dry skin, itchiness, rough skin.
Yeah, okay, Xand. Anything you want to ask Eugene?
Is there anything I can do to make my eczema better?
Keeping it really well moisturised will stop it itching and keep that skin looking nice. Beyond that, avoiding itchy fabrics like wool, nylon, polyester, things like that. Apart from that, one of the things you can do is get older. So as you get older, it's likely that it'll clear up, and lots of people who have eczema when they're children don't have it when they're adults.
Away from the clinic, Chris is ouch and about in the park, solving your medical mysteries.
Why do we get brain freeze when we eat ice cream?
Well, it's to do with when the cold ice cream gets into your mouth on a hot day, the nerves in your mouth
contract all the blood vessels around your mouth, because blood is one of the ways of your body cooling itself down. So you get pain from the nerves, from the cold, and you get changes in the amount of blood in your head, and that's what hurts.
Why do you strain your muscles?
If you move a muscle when you're not ready to use it, you can actually tear all the little fibers that make it work. And they'll heal up, and they may even heal up stronger. That's why weightlifting makes us stronger. It tears our muscles. But in the short term, it swells up and it really hurts. But it almost always gets better. Back at the Ouchmobile, there's a new case in the waiting room.
Next patient, please.
And it's 11-year-old James with a curious case on his face.
So James, what's brought you to the Ouchmobile today?
Well, I have a birthmark shaped like Britain.
Wow, look at that. What's the diagnosis, Doc?
Sounds like a case of I've got a birthmark shaped like Britain on my face-itis.
That's exactly what I'd say.
It really does look like Britain, doesn't it? All right, James, I want a bit of a geography lesson from you. Where are we on the birthmark?
We are down there, down at the bottom.
We're down there. As a doctor, I'm very interested in marks on people's faces, so I've got to check it out and make sure it's okay. I'm looking at the edges, I'm making sure they're not raised, they're not too irregular, that it's not bleeding. Everything about James's mark on his face says it's a normal, healthy birthmark.
Why is my birthmark shaped like Britain?
There isn't actually any rhyme or reason why birthmarks are shaped in particular ways, but your one is definitely the coolest one I've ever seen, though. It's also probably the most useful, because if you get lost, you can find yourself on the map on your face.
Job done for today. Clinic closed.
Still to come.
Time to find out what it's like to be first at the scene of a medical emergency.
We take you to the front line with paramedics saving lives.
Stop the bleeding!
We show you what to do in a medical emergency.
And Chris goes to work on the weirdest ward ever.
Ugh. Remember Alice with her cut nose?
Ooh, painful.
Let's find out how she's getting on.
In Manchester, Alice is waiting for surgery on her hooter.
Alice was being chased by her friend Colette, who was pretending to be a witch. As Alice was running away, she tripped and went flying across the playground, landing face first.
Ouch!
The cut is quite deep, so Dr. Ricky has decided that Alice's nose needs to be stitched up. So it's time for her operation with surgeon Ian Bruce.
Thanks to a general anaesthetic, Alice will be fast asleep and won't feel a thing. And to protect her face, her head is wrapped up like an Egyptian mummy.
Any bleeding in the wound is stopped by something called cauterizing, where these tweezers use heat to seal off the blood vessels. Look away if you're squeamish, because we can see exactly how deep that cut has gone.
And with a few stitches, she's all fixed up.
All I've done is cleaned it up, so there's no dirt underneath the skin, and then I've stitched it back, trying to create the shape of the nose as it was before. And I'm really hopeful that in a few weeks to a couple of months' time, you won't be able to tell anything has happened.
Great news, and a couple of hours later, Alice has woken up.
The doctor's fixed my nose.
But how does it feel, Alice?
It feels nice.
Oh, glad to hear it.
Bye, Alice.
Watch out for those witches. It's not only emergency departments in hospitals that deal with the unexpected.
That's right, Chris. All over the UK, there are expert teams ready for action.
We're on call with the UK Emergency Services, showing you what it's really like on the front line, saving lives.
This is a rapid response car. It's one of a fleet of vehicles that respond to up to 3,000 emergencies a day here in the West Midlands. Time to find out what it's like to be first at the scene of a medical emergency.
If you have an accident, this fast medical service is ready to help 24 hours a day.
So I've got my camera, Eric's in the back with his camera. We're going to get you as close to the action as we can.
On call with me is paramedic Jan Van. She can do 20 emergency call-outs in a day. And a new case is just in.
So at the moment, all we know is that 3 children have been involved in a road traffic accident, in a car crash, and that they've been taken home, but there's still some ongoing problem. We don't know any more than that yet. We need to get there and have a look.
And just minutes later, we're at the house. Inside, there are two children, Annie and Ryan, waiting to be checked over.
When did you notice that you had pain in your head?
I banged my head and it started hurting when I was in my dad's car on the way back.
So you didn't notice it immediately?
No.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it, that you hit your head and you don't notice it, you're so surprised, and then later on it starts to hurt.
After an accident, it's important to get checked over,
Try and pull me towards you.
either by a medic, a doctor, or at your local A&E, as some injuries take time to appear.
So you've got a little bit of a headache? Yeah. And has that headache got any worse or has it stayed the same?
Sort of the same.
Sort of stayed the same.
So what Jan's doing now is making sure that Annie and Ryan haven't got any other injuries which are a bit harder to find.
Push and pull down. Brilliant. Gosh, you're strong, aren't you? Do you go to the gym?
So she's checking their strength to make sure that their nerves are right, checking their hands and their arms.
Feel me touching you? Feel me touching you?
And she's checking the nerves coming out of their brain, she's checking eyes and mouth, things like that. But so far, everything looks really good. It's really nice that Jan's able to get here quickly, assess them at home, and hopefully spare them a trip to hospital and any more investigations.
Well, that looks absolutely fine, so that's good.
Did you have any pain in your neck or anything like that?
It ached a little bit, but it was fine.
And are you feeling all right now? Okay, good.
They could, over the next couple of days, get some stiffness in their neck, which is called whiplash, which happens after an accident. Right, this is paracetamol, OK. And as long as there's no worsening headaches and there's no confusion and no vomiting, then they should be fine.
So Jan's checked out Ryan and Annie, and they're both really well, and they're sitting on the sofa comfortably, and a lot of that is because they were both wearing their seatbelts. It's a really good result.
And if you ever have a medical emergency, there are hundreds of similar crews on standby around the UK, ready to help. Did you know that half the bones in the human body are in our hands and feet? That's over 100 in total.
Wow, you'd better look after those fingers and toes then.
As far as I'm concerned, you're never too old to play games. And one of my favourites is the family classic hide and seek. But when you play this game, you've got to be careful where you hide, because this game can be dangerous. Don't hide in the bins, Xand. You'll get your foot stuck again. That would be rubbish. And don't hide behind the TV. You're going to get tangled in all the cables again. And don't hide in my laundry basket. I haven't done last week's washing yet. Well, Xand is clearly not in this room. I'm going to have to look somewhere else. Strange, because this room is normally his favourite place to hide. I knew you'd be in here, Xand.
My finger!
Sounds like an injury alert.
So, what should you do if you trap and badly cut your finger? A. Use a clean cloth to apply pressure and stop the bleeding. B. Send in an army of ants to stitch it back up. Or C. Show your teacher and see if they freak out.
Samira, what do you think the correct answer is?
A, because if you do any of the other options, it wouldn't really help the person who has cut their finger.
Yes, Samira, you've got it. And let's show you how.
What should I do? What's the first thing to do?
Get a bandage.
Perfect, get a bandage. So get me a bandage, Dr. Chris.
Okay, so we stick this on, stop the bleeding.
And you'll need to keep the pressure up until the bleeding stops and go to hospital.
So who wants to have a go yourselves?
Now remember, we're showing you what to do in an emergency, but it's always best to find an adult.
Stop the bleeding!
Thank you.
So what do we need to do next?
Take Case to hospital.
You've got to get him to hospital.
Nina, Nina, Nina.
So that's it. Use a clean cloth to apply pressure and stop the bleeding. And if the fingertip has come off, put it in a clean bag, then put the bag on ice, tell an adult, and take the patient and the fingertip to hospital. Or call 999.
Right, Chris, ready or not, here I come. He's definitely not in here. He's so good at this game.
Look at that. I didn't know Mr. Grumbles liked playing Egyptian mummies. You're doing a fabulous job of dressing him up as one.
Chris, this is no time for joking. Mr. Grumbles has hurt his arm and I'm bandaging him up.
In that case, you're doing a terrible job of it. You should have come for a spot of nurse training with me.
A spot of what-whatting?
Time for Investigation Ouch. Welcome to the weirdest hospital ward you'll ever see. These patients aren't just sick, they're not even human. This is the nurse training room at City University in London, and it's just like a normal ward, except all the patients are dummies.
But these aren't just any dummies, they're smart dummies. To train the student nurses, they've been programmed with real illnesses, just like real patients.
Just a bit creepier. Ugh. Before they can become fully fledged nurses, the students have to show they can deal with all kinds of different situations. And these dummies are the key to putting them through their paces. Because these dummies are smart enough to show the symptoms of all kinds of different illnesses. They have pulses, make vomiting sounds, and can even talk to you.
I'm so sick.
Even though Chris is a doctor, he's never trained as a nurse, until today. Shouldn't he be dressed for the part? Well, that's more like it.
How you doing, Ali?
Hi, Chris. How are you?
Training alongside Chris is Alison. Together, they'll be caring for Jasper. Nurse Melissa will be monitoring their every move, from how they take blood pressure to their bedside manner, as well as controlling how the dummies feel. But can Chris hack it as a nurse? First test, taking a pulse.
How long do you measure it for?
1 minute.
A minute. My system has to do it for 6 seconds and multiply by 10, which is a lot less accurate. So I make the pulse about 85.
I got 82.
You got 82, so I'm not that far off.
It's close enough. It's not how we're told to do it, but it's close enough.
Ooh, not a good start, Chris.
I think we're going to ramp it up a bit. I think we're going to make Jasper get really unwell.
Oh, he's being sick. What should we do? Should we sit him up?
We should maybe remove his oxygen mask.
Oh yeah, because that.
And I'll go get a bowl.
Here we go. There, Jasper. All right, Jasper. There you go. We've got a vomit bowl for you if you're sick again. Oh, here we go.
Second time round, he's caught the pretend puke, but he's made a big mistake. Any ideas what it is?
Chris, we should probably have some apron and gloves on right now.
Oh no. Completely forgot gloves and apron, so I'd be covered in vomit and my hands would be covered, and that means any other patients I touched, I might give them an infection that Jasper had. Not good practice.
Oh dear. Jasper is covered in imaginary vomit, and to make the final test more realistic, Nurse Melissa is sending in his pretend sons. Chris will need to look after his patient and reassure his fake family.
So what have you guys done to him? He was all right yesterday.
Well, he's suddenly got a bit worse. He started vomiting. We don't quite know what's going on, but...
Yeah, but, you know, can't you give him something to stop the sickness?
Yeah, we'll do that. Well, we started the fluid. It's difficult because we just need a bit more space around the patient to do the work. And I think, obviously, Jasper's covered in vomit.
Yeah, it's maybe a bit distressing for the two of you to see your dad like this.
Jasper, do you like your relatives around?
No.
So would you like to take a seat outside and we'll come get you?
Well, will somebody come and get us whenever everything's settled down, OK? Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Bye. See you in a bit.
Oh, they were a tough crowd.
Looks like Jasper wanted to get rid of his family as much as we did.
Test over. Chris has been put through his paces like a real trainee nurse. But did he pass?
So how do you think I did?
I think you did okay. I think the pulse I was not quite sure about.
I thought I'd get in trouble for that.
And obviously, no aprons and gloves until Ali remembered.
Can't believe I forgot that.
Relatives, though, I thought you did really well. I think you worked well together, you reassured them, and they seemed to leave happy. And Jasper's obviously much happier now, so.
So they may look a bit creepy, but remember, these dummies are helping nurses to help get you fixed up. Listen, you've been watching everything today. How do you honestly think I did? All right, I'll get a bowl.
Don't forget the apron and gloves, Chris.
Our next patient thought today would be another normal day.
But he was wrong, and now he's in A&E.
Let's meet him. In Manchester, 7-year-old Tyler has come in with his great-gran. What have you done, Tyler?
I burnt my hand.
You burnt your hand. Oh dear.
It's a bit painful.
The burn has been wrapped in cling film by a nurse to protect it. But how did it happen, Tyler?
I was trying to make myself a brew.
Ah, a cup of tea. 2 sugars, please.
I really, really like brews. I love dunking biscuits in there, and my favourite biscuit is custard cream.
Nice one, Tyler. Sounds yummy.
In fact, Xand, it's that custard cream craving that got him into this mess in the first place. Tyler is a big tea drinker.
Ooh, me too.
He loves nothing more than putting his feet up with a brew and dunking his custard creams in it.
Ooh, me too.
Because Tyler's only 7, he asked his big brother James to fix him a cuppa. But James said no.
Brotherly love, eh?
So Tyler set about making his own cup of tea. But the kettle was full and heavy. As Tyler poured, the kettle slipped and the boiling water went all over his hand.
Ouch! Here's Dr. Chucks Nawalia to take a look at that painful palm.
Hello, Tyler. How are you?
I'm alright.
So what's been happening to you today?
I've burnt myself.
Okay. Can you feel any pains or tingling on your hands, like pins?
Yeah.
And where are you feeling it?
In my thumb.
Can you feel me touching you? You can feel it, okay.
Your skin is made up of layers of skin cells, fat, tissue, and blood vessels. When you burn or scald yourself, the deeper these layers get damaged, the worse the burn will be. More minor burns only affect the top layer, and that's what's happened to Tyler's hand.
But it still hurts.
Tyler's lucky he had a minor burn. He just needs some painkillers, anti-inflammatories. He's gonna be fine.
That's great news. Now it's over to Nurse Samira to give the burn a good clean with sterile water before dressing it.
Right, so you need to keep this clean and dry, okay?
Yep.
Now you've got your digits dressed, I've got another burning question for you, Tyler. What was the worst bit about today?
I've not had a brew.
Ah, never mind. Let's hope your brother's got the kettle on and that he's stocked up on custard creams. Bye!
So that's it till next time from Operation Ouch.
Oh, Xand, what have you been eating? Beans, beans, the musical fruit. The more you eat, the more
Yes,
you...
Xand, we get it, we get it.
He's definitely not in here. He's so good at this game.